What's going on, everybody? Ted here with somebody's Wix, and it is the end of the year. It's getting close to the end of the year, so I thought I would do a little tribute to a video I did at the very beginning of the year, which was the top 20, or actually it turned into two top 10s. So we'll just call it the top 20 altcoins that I predicted would do well, and it took me a couple days to actually get all this data down and completed, because there was a lot to go through. But it was fun. It was fun to go back and see, what altcoins that I chose ended up succeeding very well, and which ones failed very well. So I got some new tops, some new top. Basically, I kind of put them in top fives. I got the winners, that kind of continuously grew, but also, about even. I also have top five highs, the ones that had the best highs. Now, the ones that had the best highs actually ended up being some of the worst. They ended up, right now, they're lower than what they were when I did this in February. So I'll kind of go through all of that with you. So it's kind of interesting to see what those were. So first, what we'll do, if you like what I do, today is not a technical analysis thing. It's not a smart money thing. It's just a top list thing. So, but if you have watched my videos and you do like my content, if you would please do something for me, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. It'll help me out. And I would love you guys forever for it. And it would give me very, very good wishes going into this new year. How about that? So let's head on over to the charts, because I want to show you that I did do these videos. I'm not just lying off my teeth. So here is one called Top 10 Cheapest Altcoins to Watch This Week. And I kind of meant throughout the year. And I put hint Cardano is one of them. All right, so and that was when Cardano was. Well, we'll get into it. And then there was this one that where I kind of go over Bitcoin actually a lot. This is Bitcoin breaks 49K. Can you believe that? Back in February, Bitcoin broke 49K. Where are we at in Bitcoin right now? Actually, I want to see, because I want to bring this chart up. I think we're right around there. If not, we may be a little bit lower. Oh, come on, chart. Hurry up. 47. Wow. So, and I did this in February. So, yeah, that guy, sorry, I got a ton of markings on here, but this is early February, the first 2 weeks of February, so it was right around in here. Yep, that would have been about right. I think I did one in February. I forgot what the dates are here. Let me go back and see. February 14th is when I put out this one, and then this other one was February 6th. So, and these are on the daily. So 14th, I think, is the one that I said it breaks 49K, and yep, it sure does. And now we're below that. Interesting. Okay. So I actually went over a lot of, Bitcoin's technical analysis on that day. But then I talk about a different top 10. As you can see there over here, that is my second top 10. So the coins I went over, the coins that I predicted would do well this year, was on this one, the first one. It doesn't show it over here in the left hand side. I don't know why, but if you look on this video, you can definitely see my top 10 that I have. So if we go back to this one, this will show my top 10. Let me see here. The new top 10, and then I think this one has my first top 10. Yeah, this has my first top 10. So I had 1 inch that I predicted would do well, because I thought Uniswap had a competitor. Hey, why not? 1 inch, it would come in and give Uniswap a run for its money. Then I had Mana Decentraland. Then I had a QTIM. I don't know if it's Quantum or QTIM. I really still don't know what it is, but whatever it is, hey, it's QTUM. I thought that would do really well this year. Algorand. I chose Algorand very, very early this year. Iota. All right, and then Swissborg. And then Cardano, of course. I chose Avalanche. And then I chose Celsius. Now, at the time, whenever I was doing these, I was choosing these at a time to where they were somewhat cheap, and I wanted to see if we could, if it was something that you could just toss $20 in, that it might, grow to 5x that, something like that, something that we could all, grow our money on just because it was cheap. So there's that top 10, and then the new top 10, which is interesting, even though I ended up adding an extra one, and for some reason I have Ethereum in here. I don't know why. So we can remove that, because that's definitely not a top 10 one. There's this CDT USD. It used to be blocks. And I looked at it whenever I was going over this again. And I was like, wait, it doesn't exist anymore. So interestingly enough, this 11 that I had ended up turning to 10 anyway. So first one I chose was Loopring. Yeah, Loopring. And these are all on the daily, so you can see going back, back to February from when I chose this, how these have done. All right. So next one was Alpha Finance. There's another Alpha now, but it just started, I think, over the summer or something like that. But yeah, you can see how this one has done since February, whenever I called it. Some of these actually had made their highs already before I called it. Alpha was one of them. And then we had Polka Starter, Parsec, and then I had Ravencoin, Phantom, Gas, Hedgic, and then what is this? Front? I don't remember Front. I didn't put that down in my top 10. So I'm not going to include that in here because I don't remember going over that one. But I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8. Oh yeah, this is the other one. I don't know why I have dot in here either, because that's definitely not one. IOST. I didn't have that one in here either. I don't know. For some reason, I don't remember going over these ones. So we're going to just include these, and we're going to go over the ones that I do remember going over, I guess. Because I rewatched the videos, and I don't remember going over those. So that was the whole point. So whenever I rewatched the videos, those are the ones I didn't see those. I wasn't looking at actually the actual list over here. So, but I did include a new cipher. So, out of all of these, the winners, I guess you can probably guess which ones was the winners, or at least the number one was Mana. Mana actually, let's see here, Mana grew a total of, for the high, from the time I told in February, it got to 24x, 24 times as much as it was in February at 22 cents is when I first started it. And currently, yesterday as of 5 p.m., because that's when I got all these numbers done, it got to 15x. So, yeah, if you had your money in Mana, which I did at the time, you were looking pretty. But I was dumb, and I sold. And one of my friends brought this up, and he made a good point. He said I'll never sell a whole bag ever again, and I'm with him on that, because I sold my whole bag of Mana whenever it hit just a little bit over $1, because I was like 5x, heck yeah, I can't get any better than that. But I could have gotten any better than that. I could have gotten 10 times better than that. So that was interesting. All right. The second of the winners, all right, now these are the ones that were consistently grew and also had good highs. would have been, I don't know if it's on this one. It doesn't look like it is. Maybe on the new 10. Yep, here it is. Was Phantom. Phantom was a surprise. Well, I wouldn't say a surprise. I think we all thought Phantom was going to do well. But coming from the beginning of the year in February till now, the numbers on Phantom were, it got up to, the high was 17x. And currently we are sitting at, or yesterday, as of yesterday at 5 p.m., we were sitting at 11.75x the price that I started at. So the price that I started at in February was 18 cents. So, hey, it being, I think I had 216 wrote down yesterday. It's at 214 now. So, yeah, we're still at about 11.75x. That's not bad at all for being at 18 cents. So, let's see here. Number 3 of the winners. You should probably know this. And even though it was a little bit higher in price than the rest of them, I just had a hunch. I was like, if you throw $20 in this now, even though it's almost $20, it's probably going to do well. And that was Avalanche. And I was right. And I think I talked about it back in February. I think it was 18. What was the price I had whenever I went over this in February? 18 something. I know that. Let's see here. AVAX 1831. So it was 1831 whenever I went over this in February. And so, like I said, I think it was on the first one whenever I did it on February 6th. Oh, no. So it must have been on this, either on this way up or on this way down. Wait, what were the 2 dates of these videos again? February 14th and February 6th. Yes, that is correct. So, let's go back to Avalanche. February 14th. Yeah, well, no. February 6th. February 6th would have been right. Yep, so that was the first one I did because that was right around the $18 mark because I had it written down at $18.31, basically. And so it had its high, as you can see most recently up here, at $145, something like that, I think is what I wrote down. So that would have been from February up until that point. It would have been 7.3x. So you would have went at 7.3x times what you had. So if you'd have thrown in $20, you would have come and sold at your high. Would have had $146. But at the current rate, yesterday it was at a 105. It's going down to 101. You know what? And there's a big gap right here, fair value gap. So I expect it to drop probably down to like 89 or something like that, and then bounce back. I don't see AVAX going anywhere bad anytime soon. It is smart money. There is a big fair value gap right there. It could be just wanting to either get halfway there, which it could be because there's a big red candle going down, or it could just try to fill in the full gap and then turn around and go back up. But either way, I don't see AVAX going anywhere anytime soon. But as of yesterday, at $105, AVAX was 5 times the amount as it was. Well, probably a little bit higher than 5, because 5 times the amount would have been, because it was 1831. And it was at 105 yesterday. So, about 5 times the amount would be about correct. So, then, moving on to number 4. Number 4. I don't think it's on this one. I think it's on the new 10. It's not even on here. Interesting. Okay. I remember going over it, though, because I watched it. Maybe I just have my... Got to be on this. Which one was the one that didn't have 10 on it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one had more than 10, but We'll add it again, and that was, if you guessed cake, you guessed right. Well, if I can type it right. So I had cake, and we will go with the Binance, since it is a Binance coin. Now, cake since February, whenever I did it in February, was at like $3 and something. Okay. Now, at its high, when it did get to its high, as you can see, it had one of the highest highs at 13x. But yesterday, it was sitting at 1183. It looks like it's gotten higher now. And I got most of these numbers yesterday from crypto market cap. That way, it was all aggregated. I wasn't gonna choose like one chart over another. But it looks like it did rise a little bit. So cake has went up about 3.62 times. So or 3.62x as much as it was in March. So that's not a bad gain. Even though it doesn't look like it's a good gain right now. The whole point, I think, I remember in May, the reason it was getting so much was because in Pancake Swap, you could stake it, and it was like an automatic stake. I remember, well, maybe it wasn't then. I don't know. It was somewhere whenever it was around $20, or around a consistent $20. Yeah, it's probably right around in here, because I was staking it, auto staking it in Pancake Swap myself, and making quite a bit of money every day off of it, because it would just constantly stake and stake and stake. But unfortunately, that is another one that I had sold all the bag for. And then the last of the top 5 was Iota. Believe it or not, all the ones, Iota. That had been a kind of a consistent growth. Also had a good high since February. So as you can see, back in February, whenever I started this, Iota started at about 56 cents, about 57 cents. The high that it got to, around 253, which was about 4.45x. All right, and then yesterday, whenever I was doing this, it was around 150. It looks like it's got down to about 145, but that would be around 2.63x. The starting price that I gave back in February. So those were your winners, all right. And now the best highs actually are basically the same, except for we had 2 that were kind of split for number 5. That was different than Iota, because Iota had a 4.45x. Qtum actually had a 6.6x. So it's high. Or sorry, 6.5x that amount. And then there was another one that was very, very big or close. And I don't see it. You know what? I really realized I didn't see it on either one of these as well. Interesting. But it was. Here, let me just go ahead and add it to one of these. But if you watch these videos, I'm pretty sure I went over these, or else I wouldn't have wrote them down. But it was Spark Point. For some reason, I thought this one was going to do well. Why is it not adding? Oh, there it goes. It added. Oh, it looks like it went into KuCoin later. But whenever Spark Point started, it started at... They got a notebook here of all this information. 0.003632, right? And so then it jumps up to this high at about 2 cents. So that 2 cents from where it originated from was 6.6x. So Spark Point, but Spark Point ended up being, well, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so those were the winners and also the best highs. The losers, the ones that have failed us all. Unfortunately, Parsec. Parsec was number one of the losers. It had basically a 0.035x. So I think, like I said, if everybody threw $20 in it, what would you end up with now? Parsec was the one, I think that was like, it was so low, it was almost ridiculous. Let me see here. 70 cents. So you would have ended up with 70 cents if you'd have thrown in $20 in Parsec in February, up until now. So I remember Parsec being like a talk of the, remember like it being like a big coin for a while, and then all of a sudden it just, whenever crypto dropped off in May, so did Parsec, unfortunately, and it just never recovered. Number 2 would be Hedgic. Hedgic was also a huge loser. As you can see, I did it in February as it was coming up. I thought it was going to be one of those coins that was going to continuously grow, and it had its high after I think I did my video. So I did my video on this one on 14th, just as the high was happening. So I have Hedgic, whenever I did this video, at 0.5129. Let me see where that's at. 0.5129. So but it would have been like right around in there. Yeah. So it had just already had its high. And then, of course, it goes down to, it would have been currently 0.13x. But the high after that, let me see here. Now, the high after that didn't even get that high. So, yeah, Hedgic was just a huge loser. So, next loser goes to Alpha. Yes, Alpha. From back in, I guess, let me see here. This is 2021. Alpha was one of those ones that also had a decent high. But from February, right around the time that I was doing these videos, was about its peak. It had already had its high. Yeah, let me see. There was a couple that had highs already when I already did this, and Alpha was one of them. So, and if you would have put $20 into Alpha to where it is today, let me see, where is Alpha on here? I think, see here, Alpha formula point. Basically, it went down, or you got 0.3 out of it. So 14. So you'd end up with $7. You would have ended up with $7 right now if you would have put $20 into Alpha. All right, the other one I put in, all right, Spark Point went down about 0.5%, or went down about 0.5, so cut it in half from what it started at. Spark Point started out at 0.0036. Currently, it's sitting, or as of yesterday, it was sitting at 0.00195. So that is about cut in half. So you would have ended up with about $10 if you would have stayed with Spark Point. But again, Spark Point was one of those ones that had those really weird highs as well on the way. So number 5 was 5 inch. Number 5 was 5 inch. No, number 5 was 1 inch, actually. Very disappointing coin. Like I said, I thought it was going to rival Uniswap, considering that's what it was pretty much meant to be. But then there were so many other, Web3s that kind of came out at the same time that, one is just couldn't couldn't compete with Uniswap. Everybody still went back to Uniswap for all these things. So yeah, here's 1 inch here. So February, whenever I did this, I don't know if I did it on the 6th or the 10th or the 14th, but it was right around in here. But as you can see, had a good high, you know. What was its high? 1 inch is high actually went up. Actually only about. Well, I started with it about $4.80. And its high got to $7.47. Yeah, we're somewhere around there. So you would have got about 1.5x out of the high out of 1 inch. So, but as you can see, from February till now, you would have lost about half. So, unfortunately, if you would have put $20 in that, you would have got about $10 out of that one. Even though I did have top fives for the other two, these I'm basically going over the ones that were losers, meaning that from the point that we started it to the now, they did not gain. They lost. So number 6 was, I don't see it on here. I think it's on this one. Yep, there it is. Polka Starter. So in February, whenever I did this, I mean, if I'd have done this like a month before, or actually, I think I did this on February 14th with Polka Starter. I had to have. Because I have it at $4.98. And that would make sense around February 14th, $4.98. So, but if I would have done it the week before at February 6th, and I think that's why I was looking at it, because it did have such a huge jump, that I was like, hey, this coin could actually do something. So that's why I threw Polka Starter in there. Time of recording, it was at 498. Right as of yesterday, it was at 274. Right now it's 277. So that would have brought it down about 0.5499x. So I think you would have ended up with about $10.99 if you'd have thrown $20 at that Polka Starter whenever I thought it was going to go up. Like I said, it's high only got to about 5.2. It got to $5.25, which it made it at one. Actually, this is 7.85. Oh yeah, so it got to 5.2 after. And this says 6 something. Well, I was going off of CoinMarketCap's numbers, and I was going after the date that I had produced this. But I mean, as of this, this would have been on Huobi. I don't know what Polka Starter was on anything else, but it looks like the high would have been 1.05x as much as what we started with, and currently down about half about what we started with. So, all right. And then the other loser, the last but not least, but also had a good high. I don't think I wrote the high in here, but it was New Cipher. Yeah, look at that. So I guess when I did this in February, the time that I at 0.0082. So I have 80 cents when I did this in February. Let me see if that's about right. February, it had probably been about the 16th or something, or 14th when I did this one. Here's 14th. Yep, right around there on the 14th. It probably would have been around 80 cents or so. And then where are we at today? 0.7552. So we went down not very much. I think yesterday I wrote down 0.7502. So we're about the same point. But we did go down, but not very much. But if you had invested $20 in New Cipher today, you would have ended up with about $18.06. So out of all these, what I did is I put, I said if you started off with $20, and where would you be today with 20 coins instead of having that $20 or having $400? What you would have is you would actually have $1,086. So you would have been up about 2.7x with all of these coins, even though we did have some bad losers. There was a lot that were all in the in-between phase, that weren't bad, that weren't good. Like loop ring, loop ring wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Let me see here. Cardano, especially whenever I started off at 63 cents. It got its high at 296, but currently sitting around, actually I don't know where it's at. One something, 134. So Cardano was one of those ones that was in the middle. Same thing with Swissborg. Actually, I think that one went down. That one may have been a loser too. I'm not for sure. No, actually, let me see here. I think at the time it did go down, but its high would have been about a 1.8x of what it was. So you just had all these in between. The CDT that used to be blocks is no longer. Algo is another one that was right, another one that was in the middle. I also had Celsius. I should have included that in the losers because at the time I recorded it, it was 4.5, and I think right now it's at $4. Well, no, it looks like it's about equal. So the time I recorded it in February, it's maybe 16th or 6th, I don't know, 16th or whatever it was, 14th or 6th, 14th right here. Yeah, it went down just a little bit. So Celsius, even though it did have a decent year, as of right now, we wouldn't be up with Celsius. So with all of these, that being said, we would have ended up being 2.7x higher than what we were if we would have put $20 in all of these. Now, if we would have somehow had the magical brain and have learned to sell at the highs, or had some kind of, AI that told us, when to sell at the highs, we would have sold everything, and we would have ended up with $2,400, 62 and 36 cents. So we would have been up at 6.16x. So out of all of those coins, that's what would have happened. I can't believe there were so many in the middle. But I can't believe I chose some good winners too, like Mana and Phantom and Avalanche. Those ended up being good. And to be honest, one of my biggest disappointments was Ravencoin. I honestly thought Ravencoin was going to do great this year. I think the fundamentals behind it are great. It just needs something different. I don't know what it is, but I do love Ravencoin. And I think, I don't know. We'll have to see what next year brings. But anyways, end of the year, maybe next week, or maybe at the start of the beginning of the year next year, we'll have to look at some different altcoins, and we'll have to see how they do. And at the end of 2022, I'll come back with another one to see how all of those performed. But those are all the numbers. Those are the top 20 that I ran over in the videos. At least I hope I may have went over some other ones and I just maybe skipped over it. I kind of skimmed through those videos, to be honest, just to try to find the call letters so I could quickly do the numbers, because I didn't want to spend I didn't want to watch 2 hours worth of video just to find certain things. But in the one with Bitcoin, I think I forgot which one it was, but there was one that I know a lot of people watch, or a lot of people try to find this one about whale alert. I think it may have been the first one that I did, to where I actually show how to use the whale alert thing a lot. Yeah, this is it. So if you watch the top 10 cheapest altcoins to watch this week in technicals, the one that was aired on February 6th, I go a lot over the stuff about the whale alert on that one. So anyways, let me see, where did it go? I went over here. So thanks again for watching and taking your time out of your day. If you did, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I shall see you shortly. And to remember to always wear your pants.